Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to Stepfans and Chill. It's the morning show with the late night feel. I'm your host, who? Mike E. Winfield. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all your sharing of the clips. Thank you for your feedback. You guys are saying a lot of disagreeing, but I like that as well. Thank you to all the people listening at home. Thank you to all the people watching in their living rooms. And thank you for allowing me to have this outlet where I can actually just be myself and just say anything I want to say. And I don't mind that you call me out on it. I accept that. So, without further ado, you guys, let's just get into it. The robots are coming. All right? We thought we could run away from them forever, but they here. Forever, ever? No, we couldn't run. The robots are here and they're taking over. I don't even think we all knew they were gonna manifest like this. They have arrived. Like, they got the new Tesla ones that they can babysit your kids. They walking your dog. They walking around in the house if you got one with trays. They even have ones that will go and get your groceries. You don't even have to do order where they drop it off at the front door. They got robots that'll go to the store. I saw one. I was at the Whole Foods on Porter Ranch. Somebody's robot was in there pushing the cart, picking out apples, like looking for the good one. And the robot was like, They got robots doing everything right now. This is the level of robotic robots we're at. They have robots now that will just be your friend. People just got a robot for companionship. Just someone to laugh at all your jokes. All that dumb stuff you normally say when no one's around. Now you got a robot there that'll go, ha, 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 ha. You're so funny. They even had ones with more clear voices. Because you can program it just like your GPS. You can have it be the voice you want. You can have your robot be any voice. It could be sexy seduction, like, what else do you need? Or you could have it be just whatever you want, man. You could have it be, I can't think of a voice. I was trying to think of something cool. It could be my voice. And it was like, what would you like? No, my voice wouldn't go like that. It would just be, anyways. They got robots. I don't know if you've been to that party yet where the robot is serving drinks, just going around with a tray and rolling through like, do you like Hennessy? The robots are taking over. Now, there's a more established market right now of humanoid sex robots. And if you see a neighbor get a gigantic vertical box, yeah, a lot of them got a whole human robot in there that they're going to make love to. Just some nice, heartless love making. But these things are taking over. Here's a fact. According to the 2023 Goldman Sachs report, AI could automate 300 million full-time jobs and roughly 2/3 of U.S. occupations could be affected. Other estimates say that 1.7 million jobs have been lost to automation since 2000, and 375 million jobs could be lost by the year 2030. Now, that had nothing to do with the sex robots, but that is also a fact. And is there judgment in that? No. People, you are able to do anything at this current time in our world. But I just want people to know these things are coming. Look at this. What jobs do you think that AI is going to replace first? Because that's what these computers are. They're just the most advanced stages of AI. Is it customer service? Is it retail checkouts? That's already happening a lot. Is it basic analytical roles? Is it manufacturing and assembly line jobs? I don't know. Lawyers, law? Because there's a lot of information to look up. They just got to hit one button and everything pops up. Now, the lawyers can hit that same button, but the robots could do it now and just expedite it instead of the people who still pull out encyclopedias. So they are here and they're going nowhere. So this is what I advise you to do. Learn it. Learn it. Also, if you're in a career that, that can't be taken, you're in a good spot. And if you are, fight for your job. Fight for the reason that you're a better checker and no robot could ever do it as good as you can, because some people need that human interaction because we're losing it all. We're losing it to these robots. All right. Well, this is where we are next, you guys. Let's jump into the fun. I don't even know where it's at right now. I'm going to find it. Thank you guys for writing your stories about relationships. Who better than me to give the advice? And my advice is not always for the writer. Sometimes it's just for the listener. Sometimes I think I'm worldly, that I can give out something that's going to be helpful for everyone. Now, welcome to one of my favorite parts of the show, you guys. We're jumping into the relationship advice. We're jumping into Mike E. Knows Best. And I do. I know everything there is to know about intimate relationships because I have struggled to the point where I have covered it all. You name it, I know it. That's why I'm able to figure these things out so eloquently. Let's find out. It says, my husband, he's 36, he came home sick from camping this past weekend. Ugh. He slept all day yesterday and then today acted incapable of watching our kids. They're 6 and 3. But, if he's sick, I don't know, can you give him a pass? I don't know, let's read more. While I worked and he played video games. Well, video games are easy. But I guess he did have kids. I guess he's supposed to help. But then you probably don't want him to get the kids sick. So maybe if he goes and confines himself to a room, maybe that's healthier for the family. We don't want everyone getting it, right? Let me guess. You're accusing me of defending a man. Let's keep reading. I'll see what happens. He wanted to take another nap because he's sick, in quotes, but when I told him it wasn't fair that he would nap while I worked and watched the kids, he got butthurt. How is it when you're sick? Does that ever happen? When you're sick, does he take on the weight of the responsibilities, or does he just expect you to handle everything? I think this is coming from a place, and it sounds like you're unhappy because when this thing happened to you, you didn't have anyone to bail you out. When the person you're with is supposed to be the one that bails you out in these situations. All right. Fast forward to 20 minutes ago. You wrote this letter fast. He asked if we could have sex. This is rapid. Wow, you guys are not holding back any punches. So you're too sick for your responsibilities, but you're not too sick to smoke weed, play video games, and have sex? Apparently, he isn't. But if you want someone to get over the illness, give them some. Yeah, it'll help sweat all the toxins out. And they'll come out of all parts of the body, and then he'll be healthier, and then he'll have you to thank. Don't you think it's a great idea to do something that's going to nurse your family back to health? I think so. I think that's a great thing to do. That's a great thing to consider. Yeah, I think it's really messed up. But these type of things happen. People go camping and they come back with illness. And I think you have some type of animosity to him playing video games, but that's not. What are the video games? I mean, what should he do? Should he just nap? Give him some ginger, make him some hot tea, get him back to health. But this is deeper. This is clearly deeper than him just needing a nap and wanting sex. Maybe he was out of pocket to put you in a situation to get sex. Maybe that's what you're upset about. Okay, she said, P.S. I told him no way to the sex. I told him because he's too sick. Because that's disgusting. Who wants to have sex with a sick person? You're coughing and snot is bubbling out of their nostril, and then they got phlegm, and you're still trying. That's not something anyone looks forward to. So yeah, that's kind of gross on his behalf. But if you have any grace inside of you to give him so that he could heal and you could take on more responsibility, you won't have to do it forever. You just have to do it for him while he's ill, unless he gets sick a lot. And if that's the case, that's a whole nother story. But I hope he would do the same for you, and I hope you feel that about him. All right. This guy says his wife, she's 30. She moaned her ex's name during sex. A lot of sex lately. Is that what I'm giving off? He says he's 34. He says, I'm worried that she's still into him. How do I handle this? Oh, she's clearly into him. You don't just moan someone's name and not be into him. I don't have to read the rest of this letter. You have a problem, all right? You have a situation. Now, there's tons of people who think of different things and they get, motivation, or they get fuel, or they get things to turn them on, and they put that in their brain so they can have like all these erotic, beautiful sexual experiences. But when you're saying it out loud and it's your ex's name, unless you guys have the same name and she said it different, instead of saying Mike, she was like, Mike. And you're like, that wasn't me. I don't know. This is a problem. Let me keep reading. Long story short, we've been married a couple of years and things are generally fine. Well, that's your first problem. You've only been married a couple of years. Your marriage means nothing. All right? Marriages don't really get good until about year 12. All right? Those first few years, you don't even know each other. You're just getting to know each other. That's why it's still fun. That's why it's, quote, like you said, generally fine. Because in the beginning, things are. That first year is the tough one to get over, but you don't really know this person. You just kind of living with them. You might have a kid with them because you're bored and don't have anything else to do. But there's a lot of factors that are about to come to light. When we first got married, we were very sexually active, but things slowed down a year into marriage. Yeah, because after that year, I don't have anything on that. I just assumed this was the normal honeymoon phase coming to an end, but things have really slowed to a crawl these past months. Okay. So this is a guy, he's just saying things slowed down. Okay. Sex happens less frequently now, and I find I'm always the one to initiate. That's a lot. That's many relationships where one partner initiates the most. And if you want this to change, there's two things you can do. Number one, you can never turn your partner down ever. Because once you turn your partner down once, many will never initiate again, and that is a problem. Number two, you guys got to find a mediator, AKA counseling. You got to go talk to someone. You got to figure out why this is happening, and you have to make efforts to grow and repair this, or it's going to happen forever, and it's going to be something you resent, and it's just going to be a sore in your relationship for the rest of your time together. That is not what you want. All right. I also found that it seemed like an obligation to her than something she really wanted to do. I'm sorry, but, some women will let you know that their libidos are high. They will tell you this day one, and then it'll be up to you to compete. Then there's other women that may not mention it ever. If you feel like you're someone who is like into it, gonna want it, Or maybe you don't know yourself. And that's why I don't advise men to get married until you're age 47. Stop getting married in your 20s because your brain's not even developed yet. Anyways, what was we even talking about? All right. I thought it was all in my head until last week when having sex, she was really enjoying herself and I felt really good about myself. Like, hey, I'm doing a good job in pleasing my woman. That was until she murmured her ex's name. I heard it and she knew I heard it. This is good. And she quickly covered it saying it was just a slip up. Yeah, of course it was. She was with her ex for a long time and they've remained friends, mainly because he's a mutual friend of ours. No, you need to take your now wife and move her out of the country. You can't even go to the next state, all right? You got to get away from this situation. You mean she's seeing him from time to time because you have mutual friends? This is not going to work. This is not a healthy situation. This is really terrible, and I'm sorry. I don't know if you're ever going to get out of this. This is traumatizing. She said her ex's name while you guys were in the moment. It's bad enough when you find out later that your partner might think of other things or think, but to actually announce it, that's like this sick way of belittling the person you're with to just such a tiny level that I don't know if you ever get over this. You got to be someone else. You got to be very secure. He says, I've been feeling really insecure lately. Well, there you go. This is a problem. I'm not packing a lot of heat down there, if you know what I mean. Oh, no. And I sometimes suffer from AD. Oh, no. Look, I like to tell all my writers this. You're not abnormal. There's many that are suffering from the same things you are, and it's just what it is. If you want to do something about that, look into, I'm not going to give any company a specific shout out until they start sponsoring us, but there are a lot of dick pills. There's a lot of things you can do. You can start eating healthier. You can drink more water. You can change your diet. That helps. You can exercise more. You can take more vitamins. There are vitamins that help in those departments. And I'm not saying to necessarily jump right to ED pills because a lot of times it's not that. Sometimes it's stress at work. Sometimes it's stress in life. Sometimes you just got to get your mind right so you can, pack heat. Because here's the thing, too. There are lesbians, all right, that are pleasing women more than men are. So it's not about the heat you're packing down there. It's the energy you're bringing to the table. It's your moves. It's your confidence. You got to find it, and you got to find it soon, or she's going to keep saying, Gerald, I'm sorry. That's just disgusting. I can't believe she did that. I try to make up for these things through foreplay, but I'm still very sensitive about both those things. Not to mention, before she was my wife, everyone used to joke about how she was living good because her ex-boyfriend was well endowed. Why do you know this? Something that was common knowledge back then. That makes me even more insecure. You are doomed, man. Hey, listen. You're just going to have to make a lot of money, all right? This is what you need. You need the most finances. Whatever you're doing in life, divert it to how can you get the most money? Because at this point, you need millions and you need validation. That's what you need right now. And your wife's not giving it to you. She's giving you the lowest form of validation. If she's yelling out, Gerald, you're getting nothing. And only answer right now is money, income, confidence, and take vitamins. Because this is not good for you at all. And I'm sorry that I have to be the one to say this to you, because nothing's going to change until you make the changes. You're going to have to do something that gives you confidence so you could bring that to the bedroom. You got to bring every ounce of, you got to know. It's like performers and athletes. You got to know before the event that you're going to kill it. And you got to go in there with just, I'm going to knock this out of the park. And then you start pulling out, I don't know what you need to watch. Pull out some new moves. I'm not here to give out moves because I'm not comfortable right now. But I got some moves. And man, you just pull all those out. She's going to be like, wow, I'm never going to say Gerald again. And then you're going to have some of the greatest loving you've ever had. But it all starts with you. It starts inside of you. I don't know how to even talk to her about this stuff. I'm worried if I do, I'll come across as a bigger chump and even more secure than I already am, Mike. How do I get through this? Well, I guess I told you already. And I'm sorry you have to deal with this. This is not something that anyone would want to deal with. That's too bad. I'm sorry. All right. Here we go, you guys. Our next fun segment, you guys, you know what time it is. This has been a while. Let's jump into Animals Be Trippin'. That was a zeroly smooth transition, and I like it. I like that we went from this man dealing with these problems to how crazy our animal is today. And today's animal is otters. Oh, guys, you know I love animals. They're like precious. They just always roaming the earth looking for nuts and green stuff to eat, and they're naked. And they're just doing whatever they do. You know, they got cool lives. They don't have jobs. They just got to support themselves, you know. They got families. They don't always care about them. Some of them eat their own, families. But otters, man, I used to think otters was cool. You know, when I was a kid, I was eating otter pops. Y'all remember? They were so good. They were delicious. I don't think I've ever heard anything negative about otters. Like, when is the last time, you was at the water cooler and somebody was like, you know what I hate, man? It's otters. They get on my damn nerves. You never heard that. No one's ever had anything negative to say about otters. But let me tell you right now, you guys, for you, so you know, otters are some insane creatures. These fools is out of pocket. And I know, man, Mike, I've never heard of an otter attacking people. Do they attack people? You bet they do. Look at this. A 2011 study found that 39 reports of river otter attacks in North America happened, 35 of which occurred after 1980, either due to better reporting or to increased otter savagery. The numbers grew over the decades, from 3 in the 1980s to 13 in the 1990s to 17 otter attacks in the 2000s, all right? These otters are going crazy, all right? They've been rabid, all right? Rabbit, not rabbits, all right? The researchers found 4 prior scientific publications documenting attacks, including one that reported a deadly otter attack in India. Sea otters murder even when it doesn't provide them with food or offspring. Like, they just like straight up sociopathic killers. This means an otter will kill something not even for food, not because it feels danger. These otters are killing for fun. They just killing for kicks. That's why if you see an otter, now listen, I don't know if this is in the books, I'm just making this up on the spot, but don't necessarily run. Just see it and turn around and start moving away slowly. Just start easing away. Now, if the otter starts coming in your direction, then you're allowed to pick up your speed. And if the otter starts running, then you start running. And then people are going to be like, ah, because they're going to see you running full speed from an otter. And it's probably going to be pretty comical. However, just do what you have to do. Jump on a car. I don't know what it's going to take. Another study finds that about 11% of the sea otters found dead on the California coast, they were killed, at least in part, by trauma associated with mating. So sometimes it doesn't go down well and they die afterwards. So they are sexual predators as well, just like the dolphins. They just take it without permission. All right? Copulation normally occurs in the water where the male sea otter will approach the female from behind, grip her around the chest with his forepaws, and grasp her nose or the side of her face with his teeth. Facial biting by the male commonly results in development of skin and soft tissue lacerations of the female's nose and face that occasionally can be fatal. So they're going in there to, do some nasty otter sex, and they get them by grabbing onto their face, but sometimes they grab on a little bit too viciously, and boom, dead female otter. How sad is that? And I hope he still doesn't go through with it. In one prior report on breeding-associated mortality, a tagged territorial male sea otter held a struggling female underwater until her body became limp. Oh no. And then copulated repeatedly with her carcass. 10 months later, this same male was observed with the carcass of another female sea otter. In both cases, the male was swimming, diving, guarding, and copulating with the carcass. That's what I said, you guys, when I opened this up. Animals be tripping. And that's just another example. Well, you guys, that's an odd note to close on. So I'd like to thank you all for, as usual, tuning in. Your feedback has been fun. It's been exciting. Watch out for these animals, especially ones that, I've addressed. You should know some of their tendencies and how to get away from them. If you got the relationship stories, you know where to find me. Hit me up. Thank you for checking out the calendar. Thank you for tuning in to Stepfans and Chill. And I'm Mikey Winfield. You guys, always, I love you and I appreciate you. And we're watching it change all before us. All right, hey, go out there and do something for the world.